You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast. 2021 NASCAR schedule has dropped. We have Lindsey Ok, beat reporter for the Ravens and NFL columnist as a special guest on the show. And as you can see, our good pal Randy the Plumber is back to join us. It's a big week with the NASCAR schedule. He's in the house. It's been a minute. But before we get to our ad read from our good pals at Drip Drop, how's things been out there at the creek, man?
Oh man, life's good, bro. Life is good. I don't think it could get any better. So, the middle of August, my family come to me, and this would probably make like a Camping World commercial. What happened? Middle of August, my family comes to me and they said, Dad, and my wife too, they done talked her into it. They said, we are over 2020. We're just over it. And said, got to do school virtually. We're over 2020. And the whole family said they wanted to go camping for the entire month of September. The entire month of September, we've been camping.
Incredible.
We're on day, what, 29 or 30 now. I've even forgot what day of the month it is. I still go to work every day and I do my thing, but we're camping. And so yesterday, the craziest thing happened. So we got this nice campfire going last night. We're chilling. They want to sit around a campfire every night. And I'm cool with that because I like campfires. But we're chilling and they all looked at me and they said, we want to just go ahead and extend this through the entire month of October as well. And I was like, are y'all serious? Because I'm having a great time here. But we've been camping for a month straight. I know stuff about my kids I didn't know. Dude, it's been a blast. It's been a blast.
Oh, good things though. Good things about the kids. You have great kids. They're
yeah,
good.
I mean it's been like awesome, man. I mean, they've been like we've been talking more, and I mean we're just out in the woods, bro. There's no one else around. We're not at a campground. We're in the middle of the freaking woods in South Mississippi.
And it's even more impressive because like you've got your entire setup out here. Like
I got internet out here now. I got high-speed internet.
I think you beat 2020, man, because like everybody's like at each other's necks, like inside of the house. You just said, screw it. We're just going to go outside.
We are literally out in the middle of the woods, a half a mile from any other civilization whatsoever. There is no one remotely close to where we're at. And they don't want to leave. And I told them, I said, look, it's fixing to get cold. They said, no, Dad, we don't care. We'll build a bigger fire.
We got fires. All right, I've got to get out here for sure.
Yeah.
I have yet to get to the creek, so this is going to happen soon. I'm going to work my way out there. We'll have us a blast. But obviously you guys are staying hydrated, and this is where we have to talk about Drip Drop. Oh, yeah. So Drip Drop ORS was invented to treat dehydration in the most challenging circumstances. It's used by doctors, athletes, firefighters, military members. Doctors made it. It's science. It's good. The Garage Guys use it. NASCAR drivers are using it. NFL players are using it. We got the world dripping and dropping, and you can do the same by going to dripdrop.com using promo code GarageGuys20 today and get the drip. Rip it and drip it. And as always, when I drip, you drip, we drip. So a lot of dripping going down at the camp.
It is, and I got watermelon tonight. I love the watermelon.
Look out! Are you doing a little bit of the old dehydration and hydration at the same time? You mixing some of that with some sauce?
I could be guilty of that.
Ooh, guilty as charged. Shout out to Dewey Cox.
But the charges ain't come in yet, so you can't convict me of it.
There we go. All right. Well, the gavel has hit for NASCAR, and I figured a good place for us to start the show off is talking about the new schedule. Everybody has been talking about it on Twitter all day long. It's all
wrong. That's not a good place to start. Okay, I'm fixing to show you a good place to start.
Oh God, here we go.
So I know you were trying to avoid this discussion. I know you were. You talking about this
Get
is
it
a
in.
great place to start. We got to start right here. And in your head, you're going, we're going to start right here. But, man, I hope he don't bring up the fact that Mississippi State beat the dog shit out of LSU.
This segment is brought to you by Section 65 Podcast, hosted by Clay Keaton and Tanner Colson. Check that out. I'm going to get that in before we even start. So,
yeah, and I know you've been trying to avoid that discussion. See, you haven't talked to me since this game happened. You haven't spoken to me. And I told my wife, I said, you watch. I won't hear from Chase until I make sure I call him. And what happened? What happened?
Did you hear from Hunter? Did you hear from Hunter at all?
No. Yes. I heard from Hunter why he was at Las Vegas on pit road.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna say this much. Okay, I'm a Mike Leach guy. Okay, I can't be upset because I bet you are. I bet you are. Mike Leach is an incredible coach. He has some of the most electric post-game speeches of all time. There's no one that can top his energy. And he brought that energy to the field. However, Jamar Chase is not playing for LSU right now. They don't look too bad, but yeah, you won. That's all I really have to say about it. You won.
Dude, I told LSU people the week leading up to the game, I said the national championship was last year. That's over with. This is a new season. You better not start talking too early. And they were all like, we gonna kick y'all's ass. We the national champ. We this, we that. Oh, we saw a big old booty tat. I don't fucking know. All I can tell you is Mississippi State rode into Baton Rouge and whooped that ass.
No. So they did, okay? I wouldn't call it an ass whooping. I wouldn't call it an ass whooping.
It was a damn spanking. They were lucky to be in the game. If it wouldn't give them a pick six, they wouldn't have had a shot.
LSU was better than I thought they would be. But first off, anybody that told you that LSU was going to whoop ass, like, obviously is just oblivious to the fact that, like, they lost so many good players. And I would be a liar to tell you that, like, I keep up, like, heavy with SEC. I've been keeping up with it a little more now that we have a podcast on our network focusing on SEC. So I did catch a good bit of that game. But yeah.
I don't know how big of a Mississippi State fan I am. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't play that shit, man. LSU talked their smack. Mississippi State rode into Baton Rouge, pulled out the fucking stick, and whooped that ass. It's that damn simple. Just say it. Just say it.
I figured you would have came out and you would have had something to say like, well, it's pretty simple because bulldogs make way better house pets than tigers.
About that. I ain't worried about no bulldog and no tiger. What I'm worried about is we spank that ass.
Get Leachy with it. All right, well, look, you win. I will say this much, though. Between you and Clay, when it comes to your
NASCAR, but
no, before we do, though, I will say this. Between you and Clay, for you and Clay to both have tattoos of your schools like that are that big. Like, you have your big Mississippi State on your arm. He's got the Tennessee T, like, on his leg.
It ain't orange, is it? It ain't that ugly orange.
Oh, it's orange.
And I'm sure that color's not even in my color wheel.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? That's the ugliest damn. There's no way I could wear it. I'm maroon and white, baby. That's all I wear. I don't wear no purple and yellow. They say purple and gold. It ain't gold. It's yellow. Because it's like the stripe they got going down the back of their back right now because we whooped that ass.
But are they going to whoop ass next week?
Who
you guys playing next week?
Who?
Who's Mississippi State playing?
What do you mean, who's Mississippi State playing? Who's LSU playing?
I don't know. I don't watch. I'm worried about NASCAR going into this week.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you who we playing, and don't be making fun, okay?
All right, go for it.
You gotta promise first. You gotta say, look.
I can't make you promises. I'll make you promises.
You got to say, look, Mr. Randy, because I like it when everybody calls me Mr. Randy. Okay?
I'm not going to call you Mr. Randy ever.
No, you don't call me
your Uncle Randy.
You're going to say, look, Mr. Randy, I promise not to make fun of anybody when you tell me who y'all are playing this week.
Is it Alabama?
No.
Oh.
No. It's Arkansas, man.
So, oh, God. Why would I make fun of you for that? That's going to be a breeze.
18-point favorites. I say we win by 35.
So your money, yeah, big money. I don't even know what the odds are. We'll have to check that out on Section 65 this week for sure to see what they got cooking up. But
I'm gonna be giving my odds on
look,
Section 65.
You earn your victory lap. I will give you that. You earn your victory lap, and you get it.
Victory
so
lap. Oh no,
yeah.
It's not a victory lap. It's a victory all year.
You and your fantasy football quarterback are celebrating big with Dak Prescott.
You got that right. Let me tell you what's funny. And I kind of forgot what was funny as soon as I went to tell you. I bet you did. Funny.
It's the hydration and dehydration at the same time.
No, I remember what was funny now. What happened last time we beat LSU in Tiger Stadium? Does anybody remember? Pick me.
Somebody does listening to this. Go for it. Go for it. Tell us.
We went to number 1. We were ranked number 1 in the damn country that same year. Okay, so let's don't forget what happened. I'm telling you right now, we just went from unranked to number 2 in the country.
Well, you're an excited man.
We're ranked number 2 in the country right now.
I haven't even seen it, but I believe it.
I'm messing with you, but we should be ranked.
You could have fooled me.
Well, we should be. Okay?
Well, it's not a normal year.
It's definitely not a normal year. And I don't give a rat's ass. Mississippi State went down to Baton Rouge and took it to them boys like cornbread batter.
Corn dogs. Shout out to corn dogs. All right, LSU. Go buy the LSU shirts. LSU.
No, do not buy LSU shirts.
Well, we'll have to make it. We'll have to make a Randy the Plumber Mississippi State shirt to put on the new store. We'll do that. Go check out the store. GarageGuysFantasySports.com. All right, NASCAR. Now let's get to something I can talk about a little more in depth here. Something that
You want to get deep with the 2021 schedule?
I got my waders on. All right, camouflage, mossy oak. I love it. All right, so we start off.
It's crazy.
It's the biggest crazy. We're starting off. We're getting a road course clash at Daytona Road Course.
Crazy.
That's going to be fun. 500's like
crazier. The only thing crazier that I could see happening is putting like Eric Jones in Clint Boyer's car next year. That's the only crazier thing.
That would be crazy. That would be super crazy.
That would be bizarre. But
that would be.
Know what's going to happen?
You never know. You never know. That would be a wild one right there. We'll have to save the take. But I will say I'm looking right now. I know that the biggest change is, obviously, let's just go ahead and start with the big one. Bristol Dirt Race in March. What in the hell is going on?
NASCAR has lost their minds.
We have not had a dirt track cup race since in the 70s, dude. The 70s. Okay, I proposed, if you're going to really do this and go all out, obviously everybody's got to wear goggles because you're literally going to do this, in the daytime. For one, that's a dirt race in the day. That's asking for the Dust Bowl, okay? So just go full-on Mad Max with it and, literally just, put weapons on the cars, just, let them just go all around. Let them get wild with it. That's the only way. It's the only way. Why in the hell would you do a dirt race in the day?
They have lost their minds. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You ain't listening. I've been telling y'all. You ain't listening. NASCAR has went crazy.
2020 got the best of them. NASCAR should have came to the creek.
They should have come to the creek because the creek will set you free.
The creek will set you free. That's the only other crazier thing, that if they would have been like, we're going to just not do it at Bristol. We're just going to do a dirt race at the creek at Randy's house. That's what we're going to do. Just whipping around your corner, first one that falls into the water, you're out. That's it. Playoff race at the creek.
The creek's all crooked, so it's some good banking on that creek.
But in all seriousness, I like the creativity. I like what they're trying to bring to it, but I just think this is going to cause a lot because, if you've been to a dirt race, how many, cautions are we going to have to spray down the track? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it could be quite a few. Dude,
are they even going to be able to really race? Is this 100 laps?
We don't know. We don't know, but I'm interested to see something different. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
these guys grew up on dirt, most of them, and the best of the dirt drivers become ARCA drivers and some truck series drivers, and then the best of those become Xfinity drivers, and then you got the best of the best of the best.
And they're all going back to where it started.
The Cup drivers, they got the best of the best, and now they're getting back on dirt. I think it's badass.
It's gonna be interesting because like this is gonna take a good bit of really good Cup drivers at Bristol, probably out of contention, man. We're probably gonna see somebody that's never won Bristol win this thing. And that's kind of what I'm excited about. Like Bubba Wallace is definitely going to be a contender probably, especially with him in the new ride. He's a great dirt racer. If Kyle Larson returns, that's a game changer. You already seen what he's been doing with the World of Outlaws.
I would
tearing
say
it
he
down.
has a huge advantage at that track right there if he comes back to Cup this year.
Absolutely.
Is he coming back?
It hasn't been announced yet, but everybody's got the rumor mills turning that Hendrick is probably going to be where it is. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will say this much.
Hendrick's going to bring in Larson. Look, it can't be the 48 car if that happens. It's got to go back to the 5, right?
It needs to go back to the 5 regardless. I missed the 5. The 5 needs to return.
You can't put Kyle. You couldn't put Kyle Larson in the 48 and expect people to accept it.
Look, man, if you've got – we already – we also found out this week that Chad Canales is stepping down from the pit box. He's going to do a corporate role with Hendrick now. So you got Jimmy and Chad rolling out of pit road. Like, Jimmy's going on. I had to rock some Jimmy Johnson today. I've never done that, but I'm doing it today. He's going on to IndyCar, and then you're going to have Chad Canales in the office. The 48 it's got to take a break. It's got to. If you got those two guys splitting ways, it's got to take a break.
Yeah, and I agree with that. They got that 5. They got that number 5. So, but
let's get Labonte style with it. I want some Kellogg's. I'm hungry for some Tony the Tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you?
Yeah,
man,
that's right.
Cornflakes cars back.
They're great. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for some Terry 5. Terry 2 time. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah, just don't forget that Terry Labonte took the Tony the Tiger to championship lane in 1996.
That's right. He said fuck a Wheaties box. Put me on with Tony the Tiger. That's what he was ready for.
His brother Bobby win.
Oh, dude, Bobby one time? I like Bobby one time. He's cool.
What year?
That was 2000, 2001, 2000.
Ding, 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 ding. We got a winner behind door number 4. Get your prize.
There it is, 18. Setting it down with the interstate batteries.
But rock of shit.
But dude, if Kyle Larson is on this track, like his odds are going to have to be like minus 100, minus 150, like easy, like because everybody knows that he's going to be that guy. So it's going to be fun to see. Let's see what else we got. I mean, looking at here, like everything else seems pretty normal. The big deal is that Kentucky is gone. Chicagoland Speedway is gone. Everybody was making a row about Chicagoland being off. I guess they couldn't figure it out. Jency's probably crying because Kentucky's out of here. But it's because they had to bring in the new tracks. And so
look. Circuits of the Americas.
Yeah.
Circuits
Road
of
America.
The Americas. Now hold on. Let me
COTA and Road America.
You know how big a race fan I am, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you can't be where I'm at in my NASCAR fanmanship without appreciating Formula One racing. Okay? You have to appreciate it. I ain't saying you got to go watch it, but you have to appreciate Formula One racing to be as deep in the NASCAR as I am. Because anything with 4 wheels that runs fast, I'm in it. And I'm living in Austin, Texas, right?
Yeah.
This is my damn luck. I'm living in Austin, Texas, and I'm living there for a couple of years, and I move from Austin, Texas, back to Mississippi, right? You following me?
I'm with you.
2 weeks
I'm
after
smelling where you're stepping.
Smelling where I'm stepping. 2 weeks after I move, they announced they're fixing to build a Formula One track in Austin, Texas. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me right now. You got to be shitting me right now.
I was a mad boy.
Living where the home of Formula One racing is in America. But no, I just moved, and then they announced this shit. Well, I was pissed.
That's heartbreak.
I might have
But you
stayed.
know what? You know what? Hey, man, look, keep Austin weird. I love Austin. And now you got COTA. And we're gonna have to get to Austin. It's that simple. We gotta get to Austin, Texas.
I got some good accommodations out there now.
I love it out there. I know some people out there. Shout out to Mr. Ross Boland.
Bar in South Austin. This the Bomb Diggity, right there off of like Manchac.
Yeah.
But you know what Austin has? You know what Austin is the home of? The best damn Saints bar in freaking America.
Never heard of this.
It's called the Shoal Creek Saloon. Okay. And dude, when I was living there, the Saints, it was the year we went 13-0. Right out the gate. It was our Super Bowl year.
Nice.
But we were 13-0, and I was going to every football game in Austin at the Shoal Creek Saloon, and there was like literally 1,500 Saints fans crowded into this bar and grill.
That's
and
electric.
We was just all like family, man. It was just all crazy. Picnic tables and shit everywhere.
The best of times.
And right there in Austin, I was like, when I moved there, I had no idea. And somebody said, "Oh, you're a Saints fan. I bet you go to Shoal Creek Saloon." I said, "No, but it sounds cool." They were like, "That's a Saints bar." I was like, "I'm there." Okay,
so come May, when COTA rolls around, we're definitely going to have to go check this out if we get to this race, because I have this feeling in my bones that like I might skip out on some traditional races next season and have to go hit up these new ones, because that's going to be huge. And then the All-Star race. Now here's another one that I didn't really see that great. The All-Star race is in Texas. That's going to be kind of boring.
Yeah, it's the same kind of track as Charlotte, but I like the All-Star race at Bristol.
I did too. I think it should be Bristol every year now.
I'm going to tell you where, if they're not going to have it at Bristol, where they need to have it. If you're not going to have the All-Star race at Bristol, it needs to be at Talladega.
Yeah.
That's just it. Now, if you're going to take away Bristol from us after you got our little, dude, that was cool. Okay,
that was the best. That was the best All-Star race I've watched in a long time.
Cool. And now you're going to take that away from us after we get to salivating over that, next year maybe. But no.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're going to do now, obviously if we're moving this fast, it's got to just shift around each year, and the same thing goes for the championship race. That's going to have to shift around. But the problem is
the All-Star game in baseball shifts around from stadium to stadium, don't it?
Yeah, it does. And that's the way it should be, honestly.
Basketball is the same way.
And see, that's what I love about change, man. That's why I love change so much, is because we've had this set standard of how NASCAR has been. And so I feel like for so long, when you do it that way, it gets boring. When you switch it up like this, man, this is what keeps people entertained. It keeps people talking. It keeps people on their toes.
It's a different schedule than I've ever seen.
I love it. So continuing on that, the next one, Nashville in June. Now you already know I'm excited. We got Drew in Nashville. Jency's in Nashville, so that means we're gonna have to go to Nashville, and this is gonna be a kind of more like a super speedway kind of deal, intermediate deal. Maybe they can get the short track fixed up one of these days, but then they also are gonna have like a road course race, I believe, for IndyCar there too. So Nashville's getting back in the racing scene now, which is pretty awesome.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. It's like, if I don't get to go to Nashville next year, I'm going to be upset. The only way I'm not going to be at the race in Nashville next year is if they absolutely do not allow any fans there. Because if they allow one fan, I'm going to talk them into it being me.
All right. Well, there we go. So we already know one that we got to pencil in for sure. And it's so close for everybody. It's close for our crew. So not only do you have Bristol now, so Tennessee is back. Tennessee is officially back in racing. I don't think it ever left, but now it's officially back. So a little bit of Central Time Zone love in the air. So we'll put it that way. Road America in July. We see a Road America race in Xfinity every year. So, getting that in the Cup Series is going to be cool. It's not anything like really out of the ordinary, but it's still a great race. So that'll be fun to see. And then I'm excited about the Indianapolis road course in August. So we saw the Xfinity race there. This is going to be electric for Cup.
I think it's going to be really good because that was an awesome race.
That was one of the best races of the season so far.
Literally, it's one of the only Xfinity races I've really watched for the whole race this season. I cannot – I love – as much as I love Cup racing, I have to have my Xfinity racing in doses Okay. But
I
that
agree.
one, I watched the whole thing. I mean, it was like, and then
What was that? I was at your
Alfredo?
spot.
Was it Alfredo that was like, what was it Alfredo was doing?
Anthony had a decent finish. I think Briscoe won that race. And
What
then
did he
Greg.
do? He was oh, his Winden, wasn't that the race his Winden that popped down on him?
Yeah. He was trying to get it. Yeah,
Oh
it
man, I
was
gave him a hard time about
Xfinity.
that. I had him on my show and I gave him a hard time.
Oh, I bet that was a good episode too. I remember checking that one out. But yeah, it's going to be great to see. I just love seeing the new addition of these road courses, man. And then other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. You still got your Richmond's kind of there, Darlington, always a classic race. Your super speedway races. So really, just the big changes is Nashville, COTA, the Indianapolis road course, and then the Bristol dirt race. That's kind of been the big one. So and Sonoma is coming back next season as well as Watkins Glen. So there's a good bit more road course races.
And Phoenix is still up last next year.
Yeah, so Phoenix is still going to be the race.
I think they're expecting something very electric to happen at Phoenix with the
I'm ready for
4.
I'm ready now, man.
It's gotten kind of boring at Miami, the championship 4 race, because there's not a lot going on. Okay, and at first we were really excited about it because it was something new, and like we were used to a driver wrapping up a championship sometimes 2 to 3 races before it's even over.
And they're not always the most entertaining races there.
But I think moving that race to Phoenix, they needed to move it somewhere. But Phoenix, you're guaranteed to have great weather in November. Okay, I mean, there's nowhere else besides Miami, and it rained there a lot for us. But I think that's another factor is rain. But I think they're expecting something electric to happen on that little track, and I'm ready for it.
It's got to. It's going to be fun to watch. So, I mean, we're going to get that 2 years in a row. We get to see it this season. We get to see it next season. I am personally, and I'll say this before I do get to like my big take about what I want to see. I will say I hate the fact that we get 2 weeks off for the Olympics. That sucks because I put out there the only pole jumping I want to see is someone passing the person that started the race first. So I got to give 2 weekends up of racing for the Olympics. I'm probably not going to watch much of the Olympics. I say that now, but I probably will. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to see a season, especially now where we're shifting things around. I want to maybe take the Daytona race, on the July weekend or whatever. I know it's going to be in August next season. Take that Daytona race and replace it, and let's do the 500 in the beginning of the season, and let's end the season in Daytona. I think that would be legendary.
You mean the Daytona 500, the first race of the year, and then the Daytona 500, Daytona Championship 4 race? Is that what you're implying?
It would be incredible.
It would be freaking amazing, bro.
Because, I mean, look, you call it the Super Bowl of racing. Really make it the Super Bowl then.
And I'm going to tell you something. If the Daytona hosted a Championship 4 race, you would probably have 40 different championship winners during the race. It would change 40 times.
Yeah.
You know how they always show who's winning the championship now, and it would, like, change every lap. It would be 4 different champions on each damn lap.
Right?
That would be awesome.
I think that, if they're going to call it the Super Bowl of racing, I've always just had this take. Like, you get the Super Bowl, you get the championship. All that happens at the end of every sports season and every other sport. Why not start – if you start off with the Daytona 500, why not just start off with the Daytona with the Coke Zero Sugar 400 and then move the Daytona 500 to the end of the year? Because then you get a 500 winner. Yeah. You get a 500 winner and a championship winner in the same night. That's 2 birds, 1 stone. That's huge.
Man, you really own to something right there.
I'm telling you, I think it needs to happen. That's what I want to see. That would be a game changer for NASCAR.
Have the same qualifying rules and everything as they have now for the Daytona 500.
Yep, and that's going to make – and with this new package that they have now, if they keep this new Super Speedway package, it's not going to be hard for, like, some of these contenders to really, like, keep it up there. But it's also going to step up the garages to make sure that they are putting these guys, because like normally, you got like Truex or Kyle Busch sitting there towards the end of the year. They are not that great at super speedway. So this is going to change a lot of things for them, because they're going to want to make sure their car is this is going to it would shake everything up.
Ain't going to be no lagging back to the back and playing it safe, is it?
I mean, that would be the most entertaining race of all time, in my opinion. You'll be a Daytona 500 winner and a championship winner in the same night.
That would be like awesome. Yeah. I don't think they'll ever do it because they're not that smart. But
that's why it's our job, because look, they are listening to fans, and I have noticed that there's a lot of people on NASCAR Twitter. They're listening to them. I wish I don't. They messed up on the dirt race, but.
The only reason I say they're not that smart is these guys legitimately, consciously, knowingly took the Mountain Dew Southern 500 on Labor Day weekend and moved it to California.
Right.
Okay? How much sense does that make? And look what happened. It was a complete failure. That's why I say sometimes they're not that smart.
At least they try. They experiment. We'll give them that much.
This schedule is a big-time experiment, and I like it.
I love it.
I think what you have to do is you have to have the basis NASCAR Foundation schedule, okay? The schedule that is the foundation of NASCAR, which means that you have to put the Southern 500 in Darlington. You have to do certain things, okay,
yes,
to keep the history. But I think past the history of Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, and Bristol and Charlotte, I think anything past that history is just open game.
It is. And look, we're in a time.
You have to maintain that, okay?
Yes.
You have to maintain that core.
You keep certain traditions. Yeah, as long as there's a few races that aren't screwed with. Like, that's
and
okay.
I think they're realizing that because they put Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, really. That's what I'm saying. So, but I will say this too. It's like, and I think a lot of different sports, different sports out there are seeing that this year, one good thing from this year has been change, obviously, even though it's been a bad change for some people. For sports and other things like that, it's kind of been a good change, and especially for NASCAR. So I'm ready to see how this shakes out. I'm excited for next season. And I'm just super glad that as of right now, we know that we're going to be able to get back into the garages and on pit road, and we're going to be able to get back to doing what we do best here at the Garage Guys. It's going to be fun. We're going to get to have the year that we wanted to have this year.
Yeah, I cannot wait, man.
All right.
I cannot wait. I think what I want to do, which race we going to first next year if everything's cool?
The 500. The 500 is where we're going to be at easy.
Okay.
Michael Jordan's going to be there, man.
This is it right here. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If fans are allowed at Daytona and we can get our press passes like we should.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way that we're showing up. Okay. But if we get our press passes, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be so excited about it, first of all, because racing is actually back at that point for me. Watching it and actually getting the experience. I go to 6 to 8 races a year,
Best day of the year, man. Best weekend of the year.
Okay? I mean, it's the shit to me. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off when all the drivers get to their cars on pit road. I think I'm just going to walk off down through there and snatch each one of them's hat off their heads and autograph it for them and hand it back to them. Every driver.
Don't get us kicked out, Randy. Because we'll be there. We'll be in there. I know you're going to be excited.
Hey, Joey, let me sign a hat for you. Hey, Brad, come here, man. Brad, hey, man. Blue Deuce, baby. Blue Deuce. Come here, let me sign that shit.
It's going to be wild. We're going to have to keep you tame. We're going to have to keep you tamed out there. It's going to be fun.
I don't know. Guys. Me in the wild is pretty bad.
It's going to be fun. I think I've been out there and we've hung out enough now. I think we can get it figured out. We're going to have a good time either way it goes. But
what happens at the campgrounds, right? You know how, like, when everybody
I know everything that happens at these campgrounds.
But look, let me tell you how this works for me, okay? Because it's crazy. When you go camping at a track, you're traditionally bound to that campground most of the time, unless you have some special pass that gets you in every campground, okay?
Right.
And it's what happens. Like at Talladega, if you camp over in Geico, that's the only campgrounds you got rights to. Is Geico. You can't go over into the paid stuff where the
shout out to the wild side.
Yeah, where the people are getting, into bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Over in the Geico, you don't ever go to bed. You get no sleep. You sleep for a week when you get home. You know what I'm saying? That's Talladega, baby.
That's Dega.
But most everybody, all they can do is enter one campground, right?
Yeah.
Randy the plumber. I pull up at the gate and they're looking for the passenger. They're like, oh shit, that's Randy the plumber. Let him through. Let him through. He's coming in to raise some hell. And that's all I do is go around from campground to campground raising damn hell.
I'm ready for it. We'll be in Dega. We will be at Talladega, no doubt about it. That's gonna be that's our playground, Randy. You realize like that's the only race I went to growing up as a kid. That's the race where there are literally just there's no rules, man. Everything is just is off limits. Like you go in and just wild out. It's wild boy weekend at Talladega.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be wild. My wife
can't wait,
but she don't care. She gets wild too. She gets wild. We're gonna have the biggest beer pong tournament in history. That's what's happening if we get to go to Talladega.
I'm ready. We're going to get it all on tape. It's going to be a great year, man. I'm just seeing this schedule just got me so excited, but that's everything we got for the schedule. Let us know what you guys are thinking as well. Be sure to subscribe. And
one more thing I'm thinking. It's right up here in my head, okay? You're going to love it.
Brain.
You're going to love it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're going to love this, okay? Just go ahead and say before I say it, I love this before I even say it. Go ahead.
I may love this. What is it, Randy?
I
love this. I love it. Let's go.
Hell State, baby.
Jesus Christ. All right, here's Lindsey Ok. We'll see you soon. Sports Party, repeat. All right, we now welcome on to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast. Longtime friend of the show, reoccurring guest now, Miss Lindsey Ok from lindseyok.com, NFL beat reporter, just the lady that everyone loves to hate on Twitter, but we like Lindsey. So she's here. Lindsey, thanks so much for being on the show. We have video now.
Oh, yeah. You guys can see me. I'm texting everybody. I don't know if anybody can see that.
That's what you're always talking about on Twitter, but now the Garage Fam gets to actually see it. And before we even get started, I mean, we just got to talk about these murals back here. So if anybody follows Lindsey on Instagram, you've probably seen some of this stuff before. But how did this love for NSYNC and JT get started back here? Because typically people have family members.
This is like my office setup. I don't have a desk. I have a Chase lounge here. And this is just like my gallery wall. It's slowly growing. But I have like a bunch of stuff. Like I do have a picture of me and my best friend right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I do have actual people that I know on here. So not completely insane, but this is like this picture I found in like, I forget where.
But a Tiger Beat magazine?
Really, no, it was in some store, and it's framed in gold, guys. Okay.
Oh God.
And I found it in the store when I was like 9, maybe, and it's been on my wall ever since. So, and then I don't know if you guys can see this one here, but it's Justin Timberlake as Jesus.
It's JT Jesus.
Yes.
Shout out. All right. So I had to get that out. And then obviously the Misfits pillow. I don't know how many people can like.
I have, you guys should see my house. It's like, it's getting kind of to the point where it's kind of, I don't know if it's cool or weird because
Gothic girl?
Skulls around my house.
No, just like go buy some crystal skulls and then just go all out with it.
Yeah, like I love Halloween decor season because I buy everything, but it stays out all year.
Yeah, you need to hit up my wife because she's like huge in Halloween. She starts decorating in like September, and then
I'm not like a huge Halloween person. I'm more of a Christmas person, but I just like really creepy, weird things.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Look, trust me, I'm surrounded by it all the time, so it's all good. Just wait and if you ever find out what a Ray Dunn mug is, you'll become addicted. Okay. All right. So just letting you know. So just watch out unless you like to get addicted to pottery. So there's that. All right. Well, here, back to sports. That's what we're here for. We got that out of the way. But so you had some breaking news recently, some news for us.
The Steelers-Titans game, which was postponed today because of the coronavirus, is now supposed to be played. And this is like if everybody continues to test negative if we have no more cases, et cetera, is going to be either Monday at 5 or Tuesday at 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a relief.
Yeah, I'm somebody, and you had brought this up earlier. I hate Thursday night games. I like how it kind of breaks up the week, because we have like Sunday, which is full of games. Monday gives us a little something to fall back on after that Sunday. But then we have Tuesday and Wednesday where we're kind of sitting around like this, and like, there's nothing for us to do. And then we have a game on Thursday, and then it's the weekend. So I feel like that's how the weeks just fly by in football season.
Yeah.
But the players hate playing Thursday night games. There's not enough time between Sunday and Thursday to get everything together, especially if you're the traveling team. It's bananas, especially if you're injured or, trying to play through an injury or anything like that. Like, it's so hard on your body, like as a football player, because I basically am one at this point.
Look out.
But, just to like turn around that quickly and play again on Thursday, it's just really hard on the players. So I feel like they should do a doubleheader Monday night. And I know I would prefer Saturday, honestly, but they're not going to compete with college football. So no way they can do that. We actually got a new show on our network now, the SE Section 65. It's like SEC Shun. And then 65. So like that's been a huge deal for us, because we're kind of getting into that world too with Garage Guys. So I definitely can understand that like Saturday games only work around Christmas time, like before we get into the playoffs. So that's natural, normal stuff there, and we get that. But yeah, the Thursday stuff, I mean, that would have basically make Tuesdays in the fall and the winter. I think I quote tweeted your tweet from earlier, like it's National Call in the Work Day. Like, so like, because like on the first week of like every football season, you have that double header. Like I'm dragging on Tuesdays because like you're just up so late. But the 5 o'clock start isn't so bad, because you get the normal Monday night football start time. So, I mean, I think that doing it that way, that would probably make it a little bit easier. But doing it where it starts at 7 and then you have one like a West Coast game or something where it starts off, it would definitely drag people down the long run. But you can't be too mad about this Thursday night game, because one Joe Flacco, you should really have another picture of like Moses. I don't think you can see him, but he's up there. It's his first Sports Illustrated cover is up there.
Look out. So we already know, like everybody that follows us, that knows you, they know that you're like a Joe Flacco truther, possibly wife in another life. So he may or may not be getting a start Thursday night, but I'm pretty sure at this point, Sam Darnold, they pretty much came out and Gase has said Darnold's the starter. But the debut could be coming, and it's against the Denver Broncos, so it'd be perfect timing. This game is going to be trash can city, but at the same time, you've got to be a little happy.
Yeah. So I have mixed feelings on this, and I talked about this on my site a couple days ago. Like, I really, like, more than anything, I want him to, like, come out swinging and, throw 5 touchdowns and just shut everybody up, and I will never shut up if that ever happens. I will never be quiet.
He's more of a comeback sliding kind of guy, though.
But I also, like, that team is so bad. Like, that team is so bad. That offensive line is so bad. And he's coming off a neck injury. Like, that's serious shit. Like, he had surgery on his fucking neck. And, like, if, like, one wrong move and, like, you're done. Like, it's an Alex Smith situation. Like, you're done.
Paralyzer.
So,
Carson Wentz.
I'm going to be, like, if he plays, and I feel like this is why they're kind of holding him out, is because of that. Because, like, if Sam Darnold, like, really keeps playing like he's playing, they're going to have no choice but to put Joe Flacco in there. And, like, they obviously, like, don't want his head to fall off. So, like,
yeah. He's the Ken doll. He's the Ken doll of the NFL at this point.
Yeah, like,
he's just there.
I wouldn't play him before, like, he's absolutely 100% ready to go. Like, as of right now, I feel like he's, like, 95, like, in the 90 percentile, like, ready to go. He's, like, been practicing fully for about 2 weeks and everything like that. But to put him behind that horrible offensive line, and, I mean,
it can't happen.
Doesn't suck. Like, they're not bad. So, like, you still have the potential of him getting hurt. So I feel like that's kind of why they're holding it out
Yeah, I would say that like I picked up the Broncos on the waiver wire. By the way, I cried for like a whole 3 minutes because you didn't rejoin the league, but I know you're retired from fantasy football now.
I just do not have time. I'm so sorry.
It's death to us, Jesus. But yeah, I picked up the Broncos. I mean, I think that they definitely will have an advantage over it, but it just doesn't seem like the only thing that seems right with the Jets is that Frank Gore is still alive and playing football. Because even Le'Veon Bell makes empty promises like now, and we pretty much know that. So it's like, I feel like the Jets have kind of become lower than Cleveland at this point as the place that football players go to die. Yes. So I feel like having Joe Flacco there, he's almost kind of like the gatekeeper. He's just going to be there, and he's never going to get on the field, but he's just like, my career's over. So I'm just here to hold the stick and say good luck, and I can wear black here like I was at the Ravens, and maybe it'll make him feel a little closer to home, except for the emerald green.
I hate to see him go out like this, but I mean, at the same time, like he's close to his family. He's from New Jersey. So like, I mean, if you have an offer come through like that, you're still getting paid millions of dollars to stand around. Like I take it.
To chill, and then like Sam Darnold can kind of learn from him a little bit. No, I don't doubt it at all. But this has got my wheels turning because it's like, what's next for Flacco now? Because I feel like there's two valid options. Okay, like one like color commentator, probably for like maybe like CBS. He could be a CBS guy. I could see a CBS role for him. Maybe one of the guys that like just kind of sit at the desk on Sunday, but like not actually like in the booth. The other role that I would love to see him in, because basically I've called him the Ken doll of the NFL for a long time, would be for him to go the Jay Cutler route and get a reality show. He can't be that dry, but I do feel like Flacco's got a lot of awkwardness. If you could figure that out, what would that show be like? What would it be?
So I don't see him in like a broadcaster role because he's not somebody that ever really liked talking to the media. Like but he also like is just like, he's like a chill dude. Like he's the dude that is going to go to his kid's soccer practice and he's going to bring 2 Miller Lights in his cooler and that's it. You know what I mean? Like he's like the
Jay Cutler-esque.
And yeah, the dude that likes to chill and just, wants to sit in his chair at 8:00 and watch TV and then goes to bed at 9:30, like.
Exactly. Okay. So 9:30, that kind of sucks. Cause like, I feel like Jay Cutler would at least stay up till midnight, but,
yeah.
But I don't know, like them two together for some reason, I just feel like they were like the perfect, like yin and yang of like the same universe of quarterbacks.
Like demeanors.
They should just come back because Cutler is wifeless now, so he's moved on to greener pastures, and like they should just do a show together, the bucket list, but like younger. I don't know.
That's a good idea. We should.
All right, we're gonna pitch it. All right, me and you together. We're gonna go into the room. We got this. All right, we're doing this.
Like the Chris Harrison of it.
Okay. I'm down for it. Yeah, I could just be like the guy that's always narrating, but I would do it more in like a Steve Irwin type deal because it'd be like Flacco, Cutler in the wild. I would like that.
It should be like that. Did you watch that Zac Efron show on Netflix?
Yeah, I saw like a little bit of it, not a whole lot of it.
It should be like that.
I'm down. All right, we're like pen in the pad. This is going down for sure. But yeah, Flacco definitely had better days, like with the Ravens, of course. And I mean, you got to witness all that. You're in the Maryland area, Baltimore girl through and through. You're kind of born and raised in that area, right? Mm-hmm. So that's been your team for a long time, and you started writing about them. And the last time you were on the show, it was before Lamar had came into the league. Kind of like just going back through that, I mean, like the transition they've taken, obviously you can't be too upset of how things have come about. But we did see like kind of a pretty bad regression Monday night, like earlier, because like looking at this right now, just literally going from like 75% completions and then going down to like 97 yards, 51 touchdown. Like that's hard. Like, did you see that coming at all against the Chiefs?
Yes, 100%. And like the thing is like, yeah, the thing is like I say these things and people get so mad at me for saying them, and then they happen, and I'm like. That
happens a lot to me.
And I get like if you're a fan of the team, like you want them to play well. Like obviously I was rooting for the Ravens to win. Like they're my favorite team. Like I'm going to root for them to win. But like my like football brain is telling me these guys are not going to win. Like they're not like, and this is like the hump that they had to get over. And they still 3 times now cannot get over it. And like, I like the direction that the Ravens are going. I like that they built around their quarterback because they never did that with Joe Flacco ever. They never even attempted to do that. So I like that they're doing that. I like that they have recognized his strengths and they're playing towards them rather than away from them. But at the same time, like you're not winning games. Like you can have a 16-0 season, you lose in the first round of the playoffs and it doesn't matter. Like last season, that last MVP season, that does not matter. It's
over.
And like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's certainly not. He's top 5 in the league right now. But that only takes you so far. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know. And I'm not saying, like, I 100% believe that they're going to turn around and come back. I mean, they play I almost said the Redskins. I have to, like, think.
The Washington football team.
They play
the Washington football team. The W's. The W's are coming up.
Like, obviously, they're most likely going to win that game. But
they got to watch out for Logan Thomas, though. He's coming in hot.
But, I mean, just to, like, lay an egg like that, like, and I get still being confident in your team, but I'm not okay with, like, my favorite team playing like that in primetime in front of the entire world in, like, the most anticipated game of the entire season, playing like that. I mean, I would have felt better if they had lost by, like, a field goal or had lost, you know, if they showed some fight. They showed nothing. Yeah. Laid down.
They were unprepared, like, completely, and it's unacceptable to go into a game like that. Like, I feel like, you know, like, having confidence is a double-edged sword because, like, you can have a lot of confidence in yourself and in your team and then go in somewhere like, this is a, you know, no-brainer, trust, throw it up, you know what I mean? And then, like, roll in and then it just all implode because, I mean, the one thing I will say about my team, like, I'm a Saints fan. So the one thing I will say about him is, like, I think they always go in level-headed, but it just sucks because it's like we've had a lot of really bad luck in the past few years. But, like, now we're, like, 1-2, and against, like, Green Bay, and it's like we fought hard into it, but, like you were saying, like, you would rather it be like that. So at least we have that. That was brutal because you expect, like, a team like that to go in there against, like, you know, the Washington. You would expect that. But against, like, the best team in the league, you got to be on your best no matter what. So I think it has a lot to do with the confidence factor, though. And, I mean, Lamar's got a lot of it. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's an incredible player and just, like, he's the second coming of Vic. So
I just think, like, the thing with the Ravens that worries me the most is, like, when it's bad for them, it's bad all around. Coaching sucks. The quarterback sucks.
Big stank fest.
The wide receivers suck. The tight ends suck. Like, the only person that was on their game was Justin Tucker, and he kicked, one time? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, everybody sucks, and it's just, like, you can't – and the thing is about Lamar Jackson –
you can't say they suck, though. I mean, they've had 2 good games going in. But, I mean, I guess, like, looking at who they've played.
About, like, Monday night, like, they sucked, like, top
yeah, prime time. Yeah.
Like, if Lamar Jackson is the league MVP, like, the – reigning league MVP. Like, if he's not going to be the one to make plays, then who is?
Right.
And that's, like, what a lot of Ravens fans don't understand. Like, you can sit here and tout about your MVP quarterback, but if he shows up in a game like that, like, that's not, like, like, he gets every excuse in the book. And going back to Flacco, like, you're not from Maryland, so you probably didn't see it, but literally, if Flacco put those stats up 5 years ago, he would get laughed out of town, and he would be the first one that everybody would blame. And, like, coming off that game, like, nobody's blaming Lamar Jackson; they're blaming everybody else. I'm like, you have to put some blame on your quarterback for that, especially if this is MVP.
So you're telling me that, like, they're quick to, like, just, like, fold. So, like, I thought that, like, we were bad, like, Philly was like that type of fan base. So the Ravens got that fan base, but except it's not happening now.
It's like they sat there and made fun of Patriots fans for years about being entitled and blah, blah, blah. But, like, the Patriots fans had something to back up. Like, they win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. And you guys, Ravens fans, like, talk like they've won Super Bowl after Super Bowl. And, like, you haven't. You haven't won anything. You don't have the right to talk like that.
Right.
Sorry. I'm like
yeah.
right now.
No, it's good. It's good. No, and that's true. And I mean, it really is. But I mean, like, I don't know, superstition. It's like there's a lot of superstitious stuff that like happens with. I mean, you're literally a football team based after an Edgar Allan Poe novel. So I mean, you have to imagine there's going to be some spooky shit going down. But you know, you don't expect it to be this bad. But anyway, I mean, enough with the Lamar stuff. I mean, he's just like I said. I think that every quarterback in this league has the ability, no matter how good you are, you have the ability to be exposed. And I think that the thing that happened is that the defenses are picking up on how to stop this guy. And that's a scary thing because, like, with Mahomes, like, that dude's, like, ungodly. Like, the way he can just get out there and just, like, baseball pitch, like, touchdown. You know what I mean? And, like, so I think that a lot of it has to do with the coaching and constantly evolving your offense. And maybe that's why, like, John Harbaugh was on the hot seat. You know what I mean? And, like, for a little bit. And, like, now – maybe we're going to start seeing some of that again. I don't know. But hopefully it won't be too bad. I'm rooting for you guys. I think that, like, y'all are definitely a Super Bowl contender. Everybody's entitled to have, like, one bad game, but they can't let that happen again against that team.
Yeah.
So another player, though, we have to get to, like, stay on the quarterback topic. And this is the one that's going to be fun for me because I do not understand your logic. I don't understand your reasoning, but you're in love with Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen is like the biggest dickhead known to man. And I had like this perception. Like, so going into the draft, I'll preface, like, going into the draft, and you had like Jared Goff, like guys like this, and like Baker, and you look at Josh Rosen. He was so cocky going into that draft, and you could just see like the stank, pretentious face, just Josh Rosen, bitch.
See, I
you know what I mean?
Get that from him.
I did. I saw it. Like, I kind of read through him, and like, because like they were talking about it, and like Baker goes, Jared Goff goes, whatever, and all of a sudden we get to this point to where he's sitting there, and he finally gets off to Arizona. He comes in, and I already just had this perception, like, this dude's gonna be bad. Like, he's going to Arizona. This is gonna be rough. And so I need you to help me understand, like, where this hype train started for you.
First of all, I think I'm like one of like a handful of people on.
You definitely are.
But like, I'm also a firm believer, having been around several of them, you have to be cocky to be a quarterback in the NFL. You have to be. I mean,
you got to back it up too.
Aaron Rodgers is the cockiest dude alive, and that's not an insult. Like,
he hates his family.
Well, that's
he just doesn't have a soul. He just takes a lot of, what was it, the Vicodin money? You know what I mean?
But like, you have to kind of think you're better than everybody else in order to be successful. And like,
Agreed.
you mentioned Mayfield, like so many people like think he's the cockiest dude alive, and like because he does all these commercials and everything. But like, do you really think he's gonna sit there and be like, I'm gonna turn down this like $3 million Hulu commercial just because I haven't won a lot of games yet? Like, no, that's not.
And then
happen.
People are gonna hate on it too. Like, that's what's funny. It's like he got that endorsement because of his personality. Like, be real.
Right. And like, he's just like, I don't know. I feel like people want to see if you're a professional athlete, people want to see your personality until they don't want to see it anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to be able to back it up with a play.
Once they've had too much of it, like, they don't want to see it anymore. So, but going back to like Josh Rosen, like, I never got that, like, that overload cockiness. I mean, I just feel like he wanted to be the best. And I mean, in hindsight, like, his situation isn't the best now, but he's handled it extremely well. And I mean, if he really had that like cocky attitude, and if he was really like a bad teammate, and like,
he's humbled as fuck now. I promise you.
But I mean, like, if he was really like a bad teammate and everything that like people say about him, like, he got cut from the Cardinals, and then on his own went to play in Larry Fitzgerald's softball game the next day. Like, I feel like if he were that asshole that everybody says he is, then now would be the chance when you would see it, and you're not seeing that. I mean, he's been dealt like the shittiest hand of anybody that I've ever seen, and that's not just because I love him, but he really has. Like, I wouldn't be able to deal with that mentally. I don't know about anybody else, but like, can you imagine?
Like, I mean, yeah, like that he's already a journeyman quarterback, and he's only been in the league for like, what, 3 years now?
23.
Yeah. So it's laughable, but like, what makes you love him? I mean, is it his looks or is it just like his play?
I love his attitude, actually. I feel like you don't agree with me about this.
No. Look. When he was coming in, he had that, and but it wasn't like the normal cocky like you would see from like Baker or like a Johnny Manziel. He had like this pretentiousness about him.
The thing is like I took it as like he's not afraid to say what he thinks, and I feel like you saw a lot of that from Joe Burrow this year. But he was never given like the shorthand about it. Like it was welcomed. Whereas I feel like if maybe
he doesn't have a stank face where he's just like, he's not turning up the nose.
I feel like a lot of people like Josh Rosen's from like Manhattan Beach. Like, he's been brought up with money and everything like that. So I feel like people kind of held that against him.
I just figured it out. I think I just like figured all this out. He is in the same boat with like Flacco. And with like Cutler, like he's got that attitude. Like he's just got he's kind of like now he's a little more humble. So he's just kind of quiet and sits back. Like you had to laugh your ass off when you saw him at the Saints game in the first week with the mask on. Like that's going to be the new shirt. And by the way, too, we got your shirt on your way to you because I had to create that shirt, by the way. And for everyone listening to this that hasn't checked out our new website, we have the store up. The Kiss from a Rosen was like, I think like the best name that ever like came to my mind for a fantasy football team for a quarterback that I just would never draft. So, because like, it just reminded me, I was like literally watching Batman Forever, I think one night, and like the Seal song came on and I was just like, Kiss from a Rosen. I was like, Josh Rosen. So I made the shirt. You'll have it soon. I'm sure you'll have your whole fan base like rocking and rolling with that. Yeah. So you'll definitely have to post that up. But I mean, but getting back to like the whole play thing, I guess. But yeah, I think I figured out that's why you like him, maybe. But going to Miami,
I love players that aren't afraid to say what they think because
I agree.
A lot of people like want them to be on the field and not be human beings. I mean, we saw it a lot this year with like coronavirus. Like they want them to play. They don't care if they're healthy or not. Like they're here to entertain me, like that kind of thing. And just
selfish.
Like I feel like and like I've like being around a lot of them, like they're just like regular people. And I feel like a lot of people
they're humans.
Like, I feel like a lot of people don't see that at all. I mean, like, so.
That's the sad part about society, though. I mean, you have to like work around it because, like, with me, like, I haven't gotten to like do anything like media wise with like NFL, but like NASCAR, I've done a lot of stuff. So like, I talk to a lot of drivers, and I'm in the pits and I'm around that, and like I see like the NASCAR fans and how they're like, like it's like they're a god, but it's like they're just a dude, And
so, like I feel like the same, like not to like bring myself into it, but I feel like a lot of people think that about me too. Like I'm not trying to say I'm like a celebrity or anything.
You're the Josh Rosen of girls on Twitter.
But like, I mean, a lot of people, like when they like say mean things to me and stuff, like you realize I'm like a person behind this screen. Like I'm just a normal person.
But that's why I love the shit out of you because like you've got like the thickest skin in the fucking world because like you literally like you take a lot of shit and you're just like you just bite back at it. You don't give a fuck.
I mean,
so like
sometimes it's harder than others, and like if I have had a bad day or something, like I mean it really gets to me sometimes, but most of the time it's just I mean now with football season like that. Thankfully, like football season happened. Otherwise, like with this whole COVID thing, like I don't know what I would do without it, but like now I'm just so busy that I don't even care. Like say whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like whatever. You have other things to worry about. I think that we all get there at some point. But yeah, you do. Like I got to give kudos to you for that because that's one thing I've always respected about you and your game is like you got your mental strength on lock. So a lot of people don't have that this day and time because like words have become like actual real shit.
It took a long time. Like I mean, there was a point where literally like I was crying every night about the things that people would say to me on a fucking internet site. And like it took me a long time to realize and be like, these people don't like.
You meditate at all? You do any meditation?
I do yoga a lot.
Yeah, that I'm telling you that helps. Like a lot of people like see me and they're like, oh, look at this guy with this redneck like mustache and stuff wearing NASCAR clothes. And I'm like over here like curled up like meditating and like manifesting shit. Like that's how I roll, like crystals and whatnot. So yeah, like we roll strong in that. The mental game is everything. So yeah, big respect on that. But yeah, I want to say this. I don't think that your boy Rosen is. He's like going to be like the Luke McCown of NFL now.
See, I think he will be a starter one day. I'm ready. I
bet you are.
So I really want him, and this is gonna. I've thought this for a long time, and it's really hard for me to like come to terms with. But I really think Pittsburgh is a great place for him.
People are already talking about Darnold. Like Juju was out there, like Sam needs to come to Pittsburgh. Like let Joe take over.
Sit behind somebody like Ben, who's going to be done in about probably about 2 years, and then Rose. I mean, that's such a good team to be around with like a good coach, a good like receiving core, a good offensive line. You know, it's just like I think that's a good place. But I also think the Bucs are a good place for him too.
As long as Bruce stays, if Arians stays,
yes. And to get to sit behind Brady, I mean, that's why he went there in the first place. Like that's such a good situation for him to be in. So I think like this is like a lot of people will talk shit about his first 2 years in the league, but I feel like this year is really going to be the turning point for him.
All right. Well, we know this much, and we'll hold on to that. Hopefully we'll see him come off the practice squad.
Yes, I can't wait.
So
until him and Flacco are both starting for their teams, I cannot wait. It's going to be the best day ever.
Yeah, and look, I will say this. Even though I said everything I said about Rosen, I wouldn't have taken the time out of my life to create a T-shirt if I did. There wasn't like just a little something there that like I like, even if it was a fantasy team name that I made in my mind, like it's there. So like I literally, when I was making that, I just envisioned all these people in Arizona just wearing this kiss from a Rosen and like him coming out on the field and they're just baby, and just like throwing touchdowns. Yes. So. It was there. I know that's your fantasy in your mind right now. So I'll let you just keep thinking about that. But yeah, when you get the shirt, definitely tell all the Rose fam or whatever what are they called? Do you even have a name for the Rosen fans? All right, so now that's your job. You are literally like the leader of this club now.
It's just me and like his mom.
You and his mom? There's 3 of y'all. That's harsh. That's not a lot of shirt sales for me. I might just have to give that to you to sell on your website.
Sure. There are a couple like Rosen people that, you know, I know who are.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. All right, Lindsey, it was a pleasure having you on. You know, you're welcome back anytime. We'll be keeping in touch. And where can all the Garage Fam follow you at?
You can find me, Lindsey Ok, everything, Instagram, Twitter, lindseyok.com. Everything is the same, so it's easy to find.
All right. And also remember, if you're a first-time follower of Lindsey, just get on there and spread love. You will immediately see what goes down. But we spread love because it's the Brooklyn way. That's what Biggie said. So that's what we believe in. All right, Lindsey, we'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of football season. Don't work too hard.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's the Garage Guys. 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 It's the Garage Guys.